Jumbo, fellow adventurers, happy Monday. Back to spiritual tune-ups, and today's topic was posted by a user on Facebook. Please post your questions down below on Instagram or Facebook. The question is a doozy. It is the Mac Daddy of all questions. How do you know for sure consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain? Okay. Now, I realize I'm speaking to the choir, and many of you are on board. But to anybody who's not on board, this is an invitation for a reflection. And anybody who is on board, the more confident you are in the truth, and the truth is absolute, it is all knowable, it is benign, friendly, and empowering, the better off you are. So how do I know? How am I so sure? Well, it takes a bit of a leap, but not much. It would take a much larger leap to think that consciousness is a byproduct of the brain. I mean, just look at the evidence if you're scientifically or objectively inclined. To begin the series of questions I have that stem from this, if consciousness is a byproduct of the brain, that would mean the physical universe came first. And somehow in the physical universe, we evolved. Well, where would the first spark be? How could the physical universe be bedrock reality if time, as concluded by Albert Einstein, is illusionary, relative, different from one person to the next? If time is relative, then so must space be relative. In fact, in my own humble opinion, time and space are the same thing, just two axioms that create a reality. If time is relative for me, then that which is enclosed in time must be relative. Space. Matter is contained by space. Matter is relative. It is different from one person to the next. And if this is bedrock reality, then we've got a grave problem going on. The biggest question unanswered by that hypothesis is, where did bedrock reality come from? Where did the physical universe come from? It just existed on its own? Have you taken a gander at wildlife lately? 100 million species on planet Earth, all doing this symbiotic dance that perpetuates life and consciousness as we know it. Not just human consciousness, but the consciousness of every living creature and every living tree and organism and cell and amoeba. All of this is all teaming together with balance, with order. Each has something to do. There are many who would speculate that amoebas were the first spark of life. Where did an amoeba come from? This hypothesis means that through some combination of the elements, earth, water, fire, air, somehow from those elements sprung consciousness that ultimately was able to pull itself out of the ocean, learn to walk upright, ultimately wearing high heels. Now that's a really compelling story. It's an amazing story, but there's zero evidence on planet Earth, zero evidence, skeletally speaking, of the evolution of an amoeba to a human being. Much less an amoeba to a blade of grass, much less an amoeba to a koala bear, or to any of the 100 million different species. It boggles the mind. And then you consider, how come there's still amoebas? How come they haven't all sprung gills and fins and begun walking upright? And science will give you an answer to why there is still amoebas. But science does not give an explanation, nor is there any fossil evidence that indicates evolution was the source of life. So how do I know that consciousness isn't a byproduct of the brain. Well, the brain would be a byproduct of evolution. The evolution would be a byproduct of space dust come alive. And then we still don't know where space dust came from. Whereas you all have nighttime dreams. This is a great analogy, if you will. In a nighttime dream, when you're running and being chased by lions and tigers and bears, or you're chasing after Romeo, or Romeo is chasing after you, to the dreamer, isn't everything happening on the stage of their dream just vivid reality? I mean, their heart is racing, they're sweating, and God knows what other bodily functions are taking place, right? Inside of a nighttime dream, it's real. And there is terra firma. You are running on the ground, and gravity is holding you to the ground. And there's all of these concoctions that seem so believable. Why? Well, we look at our own lives and we realize that our nighttime dreams offer a tonic, offer solutions, create avenues for creativity. There's a lot of work that gets done in a nighttime dream. And that work gets done and our emotions are triggered when we believe the apparatus, the stage of a nighttime dream is real. It's not real. You know that it's not real. It's a nighttime dream. You can look at your partner sleeping in their bed beside of you and they're jumping and running all over, but nothing's happening. It's all in their mind. But in their mind, there's a world. And my leap here is to suggest that the dream of life that we are now sharing, that by and large we are co-creating, is every bit the same as a nighttime dream. When you're in the dream, it's so real, and you can take a microscope out and you can find atoms and electrons and things like that. But then you wake up from the dream and you see that there was a reason for that dream. And the reason for the dream of life as we know it is joy and love and discovery and adventure. Do you think this is the byproduct of space dust? That is a much more gigantic, much more impossible leap. Never in any laboratory has consciousness sprung from matter. Never. But every single night, matter, or what we believe to be matter, springs from our nighttime dreams. And when you can see the love in your life, when you know what it's like to be loved, when you know what it's like to fall in love, when you know what it's like to learn patience, when you know what it's like to believe in yourself, and you can view these as adventures, because they are, and you realize that you're inclined to succeed, that your positive thoughts are 10,000 times more powerful than your negative thoughts, suddenly it starts making sense. This is a fantastic dream, not diminishing from the importance of life. It's not just some play day, hocus pocus, let's see what we can manifest. I mean, it's all about the jewels of emotion and that journey. And hasn't there been enough people who have clinically died and come back and written a best-selling book that was filled with profound wisdom, that mirrors one another from different parts of the world, from different times in humanity? Haven't there been enough yogis and seers and prophets that all speak the same language, that all tell us that this is all about love? This makes sense. Can I prove it physically? Maybe not. But do you have to be able to prove that last night you dreamed of a red Corvette to know that you did dream of a red Corvette? Why not just take it for what it is? Go with what you got. See the love and beauty everywhere. Realize that you have a profound effect on the illusions and all of the physical elements of the world through your thoughts, your beliefs, and expectations. Discipline your thought through some creative visualization. Craft some words through affirmations. Work on your beliefs. Look to anything that gives you pain emotionally in the world and realize you're misunderstanding something. And suddenly, game on, wealth, friends, abundance, international travel, joy, laughter, health, healing are all yours. That can't come from a rock. That's never come from a rock. So, perhaps if you're asking me to physically, or anybody to physically prove that consciousness came first, I would say you're barking up the wrong tree. From within the dream, you can't prove that. Not with the physical props. That would be like in a nighttime dream saying, prove to me that that lion's not real, and all of a sudden It's eating you up. But the far more difficult, far more illogical, far more pathetic explanation would be that life came from matter. And there's just zero, zero, nothing to that. Nothing, nobody, it's not there. Okay, fellow adventurers, thanks for that great question. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Maybe somebody out there will think some new thoughts and realize how powerful they are. And that's the point of all of this, so that you know how powerful you are. You are of God, by God, pure God, capable of living a life of joy and ease. All right, and to help you with that, our 21-day visualization project is launching really soon. The link is below in Facebook. Swipe up on Instagram to my bio and you'll see the link. You can register. This is not an attempt to make money off of the talk that I just gave. If it doesn't resonate with you, peace out and lots of love and happy journeying. We'll meet again. But this 21-day visualization project, every day I'm going to guide you through a guided visualization where you will close your eyes and I will talk about different topics on each day, from peace and joy, health, healing, prosperity, relationships, and your life can be transformed. It's up to you. You gotta walk the walk, walk the talk, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for the great question. Please post your questions below. Lots of love and have the best Monday of your life so far. Tally ho.